See, I don't know how it's going to turn out, because five games over the autumn. I don't know whether that's going to happen. Four is difficult enough. 4 games on the bounce is always difficult enough. Teams always try and schedule the November for a tier 2 or whatever, and then which gives a bit of a development side of things, doesn't it, to the flavour of the November calendar. So we don't know what's going to happen. We presume that there's certainly going to be 1 game played in and around that period, but we've not had anything confirmed.
So would you, by the sound of things, if that was being proposed, you would object to that you wouldn't want those 5 matches?
No, I'd look at it. I'd certainly look at it. But I suppose if we look at it like that, then you've got to look at the whole picture of the November calendar, haven't you? From our perspective, I mean, we've got 3 really tough games coming up. We've got 2 against Australia, and then we've got South Africa, Australia, and Japan. It's a tough all 5 games, isn't it? And then you're throwing in 2 for us, which is effectively, hopefully, a semi-final and a final. Regarding the Six Nations, it changes the goalposts a little bit, so it takes some reflection.
There doesn't seem to be many more windows related to the game.
It doesn't. Well, we don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the Pro 14. We don't know with the coronavirus, etc. The effects of that over the next couple of months. When the Italians get back playing, or how the state of play is going to be over here in Ireland. So we don't know. I suppose we're all second guessing a little bit at this moment in time.
Andy, if you'd have to play them in the same sequence, I mean, your 2 matches, would they have to be in the same sequence as they were in the Six Nations? Or?
You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think so. I mean, I don't know the outcome of, I mean, we've got to play Italy, and so the English have got to play Italy. When there's a window for both of our calendars, I don't know whether our game should have been before the English game, shouldn't it? But we don't know how those calendars fit, or whether it's going to be juggled up a bit. I don't know.
Andy, given the way the table sits right now, where are the matches to be called off if coronavirus were to go on indefinitely? The Pro 14 have a plan in place to void matches at 0-0 and give 2 points to each team. Okay, right now, are we against that? If the Six Nations were to adopt
look,
that
I mean, it's beyond me. It's beyond me to comment on what should happen.
If it would cost you a chance of playing for the title,
we would love a chance to play for a title that is still in our own hands. Yeah.
The other thing is, could I ask you about practicalities? Last week, are the squad training this week? Yeah. Last week, was there a doctor with the squad where the players tested? Was there any kind of temperature taking or anything at all? From
our end?
Yeah.
Well, we've sent out numerous emails, and in fact, we've got a talk scheduled for tomorrow as regards to the coronavirus, etc. But we tend to be pretty good in rugby in-house. I mean, we have had problems for many within a team environment where you pass on viruses, flus, etc. It's no different for us. From day one, every single time we come into camp, the first thing that the doctor stands up and says is hygiene. And there is no difference between the coronavirus and the protocols that we have adhered to for the last few years.
I'm going to try just one last attempt at this. Sorry, it's going well.
Sorry? It's going well. Thanks very much.
Inhalers. Rugby players are notorious, and soccer players as well, for having a larger percentage of inhalers than the natural percentage of the population. Does that make an athlete or a rugby player more likely to catch a cold or less? Is that considered like a lung or a chest infection type thing?
I don't know is the answer. I suppose I've always been brought up to the knowledge that the fitter you are, sometimes you're more prone to a few things, especially as far as body composition is concerned, etc. You're always a little bit more vulnerable. I suppose the more finely tuned the athlete, the more vulnerable you get. We've got some of those.
Take the last couple of
Is there any chance to get a game in? You know, just to get this kind of frustration out. Is there any, just in terms of because players are.
It's very hard regarding a national team to arrange a game. There's all sorts of ramifications, isn't there, with sponsorship and all sorts of stuff to sort out. We had, when you call a game type scenarios, we had that against Ulster last week.
Anything for this weekend, like you know?
No. The reality is that the players will be going home tomorrow. Yeah, the players will be going home from camp tomorrow. We'll keep them going. They'll have some protocols that they'll need to get through in the next 24 hours, and we'll
So that's it for you then,
reassess.
this campaign then, basically?
Well, you know, the provinces have had a week off last week. They are back in training this week, and I suppose the next protocol for the players is to get back in line. So we'll use the next 24 hours the best we can.
Andy, just on a personal level for you and your first championship, it's not a great way for it to finish. You're disappointed, obviously. Would that be the word to describe? Just
But it is what it is. As being a head coach, you've got to deal with everything that goes your way, and this is unprecedented, you know, really. But it's part of the job, you know. So you've got to expect the unexpected and just get on with it.
And you just, because we might not see you for who knows when, Joey Carroll, like obviously tough news for him. How disappointed are you? And obviously the Yankees didn't quite get fully right in mind into the World Cup carrying it, but can you just give us your own sort of take on it?
I'm gutted for Joey. He's been through a lot over the last few seasons, but I've spoken to him a couple of times, and his luck will turn. You know, it will. He needs to do the right thing and get himself fully fit, and we'll make sure that we help along with Munster to try and make that happen. But his luck will turn, and he'll be back. He'll be back because he's a great human being for one, and he's a class player as well.
Would you hope to have him for Australia? Or is
Well, we'll see. We certainly won't throw him back in if he's undercooked. But if he's going great guns by then, he's in the frame like everyone else.
Andy be in this same situation? Andy, or have you spoken to Dan?
Dan's doing really well as far as his recovery is concerned.
Yeah.
He's meeting all the markers, and they are very excited of where he's at Leinster. So him and Jack Conan, we hope to see them back sooner rather than later.
Just in Australia, Andy, does that change your thinking slightly, considering that next season is going to be so congested in terms of tests? Maybe that those 5 tests to 6 Nations, then possibly a Leinster, maybe about resting maybe more the senior players in Australia or something.
It's all in the pot. Yeah, it's a good point. But we don't know what whether those games are going to be yet. You know, whether it's 100% possible or not. I don't know. You know, I suppose more things could change this weekend. We don't know at this stage. You know, the other games are on. The Scotland Wales is ahead. But
Wednesday, they'll cover a meeting on Wednesday. And
Okay,
you
last
said
one, lads.
unprecedented. You have experience of the disappointment of matches being called off before, don't you? Foot and mouth, 2001 at Wigan.
at Wigan, yeah, in a different sport.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that different.
Look, I've turned up for plenty of matches where it's been called off. Some have been delightful. You know, you go around the corner on the bus at Workington away, and the pitch is absolutely frozen. You know, some of the lads give a cheer on a bus, but not this way around. This means a lot. You know.
Do you remember anything about 2001 matches being called off?
I remember them being called off. I remember the outbreak. Some of the lads have been reminiscing. Certainly the older lads of their experiences of the time, you know, bit of joy, going to the pub, etc. Yeah, I think things have moved on a little bit.